Hello and welcome to Dan Really Likes Wine. Just a couple of weeks to go until Christmas, which means it's time to start worrying about what to get people for Christmas because you haven't got round to it just yet. Well, never fear, I've got some Christmas ideas for you this week, and all of them will be available to buy on danreallylikeswine.com, so that sorts you out for Christmas, half an hour online, and all your gifts are taken care of. Now, I did something similar with the team at Port to Port a little while ago, a slightly wider selection there. Here I've got four that I think should just about cover all bases. And the first of those, well, it's a time of celebration, so some bubbles. So South Africa makes some great Cap Classique. Now, champagne is the entry-level stuff. If it's really good, you then call it Cap Classique, which is French for much better than champagne. And this is a perfect example. Steenberg is known as a terrific golf course down in the southern suburbs of Cape Town. It's also known as a housing estate and was probably best described by the writer Neil Manthorpe as a high-density township for white millionaires. He was subsequently banned from Steenberg, but I think they let him back now. I think it's a lovely spot to go and visit. Love playing golf there and love eating there. They've got a delightful bistro, and then they've got some really good wine. And this Cap Classique, I think, is one of the better offerings that Steenberg have. It's a Chardonnay-based brut. It's full of bubbles, and it's a really, really great celebratory wine. So as you saw last week, we used the Gabriel glassware, and these glasses can suit any wine or champagne or Cap Classique, as the case may be. And so not your usual flute, but it's certainly not having an impact on the nose. Oh, that's a big blast of toast and brioche and all things wonderful. Champagne I always think of as a great breakfast wine. If you want to start off a Saturday or a Sunday or a particularly daunting Monday, a couple of glasses of Cap Classique, no bad way to start the day. So Dom Perignon, the monk who first gave us champagne, as the story goes, reckoned that he could hear the angels when he drank this. I think that was the story. And there is something heavenly about good Cap Classique. It's cold, it's crisp, it bubbles about on the palate, and this has got a really lovely mouthful to it as well. It's quite dry. I don't like bubbles that it's too sweet, and this has got a really nice dryness to it. And as a Christmas present, you can't really go wrong with a bottle of good Cap Classique, and I think this would be a great choice, whether it's a last-minute gift for wife, girlfriend, secretary, combination thereof, or just a good friend you want to celebrate this festive season with. I think this is a more than decent choice. So, oh, that's good. And that's great work by two young South Africans with a real flair for wine, Jolette Steen and her assistant JD Pretorius. They do a terrific job down at Steenberg. So a bottle of Cap Classique is a terrific gift, but it's kind of generic. It can apply to most people. If you've got a friend who's really keen on their wine and you want something just a little bit different, then may I suggest this. It's the 2015 Chardonnay from Bartinney, and it's been in the news of late for quite deservedly acquiring itself 5 stars from Mr. Platter and his team. Now, it's owned by a friend of mine, so full disclosure, Michael Jordan, who used to be a bank teller and now spends most of his time drinking his own wine. I don't think they're making a profit, but he's certainly having a lot of fun. And he's also having a lot of success, along with his wife Rose, who's encapsulated there in the winged figure statue. Dylan Lewis did that, if you get down to Bartinney itself. This is a Chardonnay that has delivered on a lot of hard work put into the Bartinney estate just outside of Stellenbosch. It's in a pretty regal part of Stellenbosch, overlooking that Banhoek Valley. It's got some splendid views and a lovely tasting shed. And once you get to the tasting shed, this is top of the list. So Michael Jordan is a very well-connected man, and I'm led to believe that this is available by the glass of the Saxonwold Shebeen. So it's clearly a wine that has made an impression. Let's see if I enjoy it as much as Brian Molefe. So as you'll know from this series already, I'm a huge advocate of Chardonnay. I want people to drink more of it because I think we make such great Chardonnay. And here's another terrific example. It's got a lovely start to it. It's smooth, it's rich, it's got a kind of a burnt citrus toast start, and then goes into something just a little sweeter, but very faintly so at the end, and a complex but nice full complete wine, and a really good gift. So if you've got somebody who loves their wine, they've got that full back collection of platters sitting on their bookshelf at home, this may be one that they don't have but really should. I think that's a lovely Christmas gift. So there's a sporting link to the Bartinney. Michael Jordaan's much younger wife Rose is a semi-professional mountain biker, and on the theme of sport, our third wine as a Christmas gift idea. This is South Africa, we're all sport mad, and with the recent success of our national cricket team, I thought this would be a good addition. It's the 2010 cricket pitch from Welbedacht. Now, Welbedacht is the estate owned by Schalk. Now, just so we know which one we're talking about, this is Schalk, the former Springbok rugby player, not Schalk, the current Springbok rugby player, or his eldest son, Schalk, nor is it the father of this Schalk, nor his grandfather, nor his father before him. I think we're on 7 generations of Schalk at the moment, the great name shortage of Wellington. Wellington is where you find Welbedacht and where you find the aforementioned cricket pitch, because Groot Schalk, as he's better known, has a cricket pitch out on his estate. Now, Schalk is known for being a former Springbok. He's also known for doing the stunt double work for Hagrid in the Harry Potter movies. And he's also known for making some very, very good wine. He's got all sorts of rock star additions to his cellar. He's got an old bushvine Shannon that I absolutely adore. But this is one that I think is not just delightful, but also a really good idea as a Christmas gift for not only being a terrific wine, but having a nice sporting theme for those of you of said persuasion. Schalk is a giant of a man, and unsurprisingly, his wines are big and bold. Not terribly subtle, but that's not in a bad way. They're just really great expressions, and he's a very expressive man. So this is a red blend, Cab Sauv, bit of Cab Franc, some Petit Verdot, some Malbec. It's a lovely selection of grapes, and he's got a very diverse farm just outside of Wellington, to Schalk. And he's put these together to pay tribute to that cricket pitch. His son Schalk, the blonde one, the flanker, actually played South African schools as a junior cricketer. Schalk himself was a more than decent cricketer, and Schalk spends a lot of time playing cricket, looking after his cricket field, and going hunting for the wild boar that like to dig up his pitch in the small hours of the morning. He's also been inspired by the cricket pitch to produce this. Now, even if I didn't like that wine, I wouldn't say so, because Schalk's about 170 kilograms. He's got hands that can pick up a dinner plate, and you really don't want to get on the wrong side of him. But no need for me to be dishonest, because it's a wine I've had many times before, and it's a wine I will have many times again in the future. Schalk has a deep love of wine, a deep passion for it, and together with his son Tian, who would be a rock star if he could, but instead is making wine until he gets his big break in music, they come up with some really exciting and really interesting wine. And this is a good solid blend. It's got a classic feel to it. It's a nice coming together of a selection of varietals, and the result is a rich, bold wine that does 2 things if you're looking for the Christmas present. It's a really good bottle of wine, and one that will go down particularly well over Christmas, but it's also one that speaks to the sporting heritage and tradition of South Africa, and the name Schalk, well, you don't get much bigger than that in South African sport. So our final wine on Dan's selection of Christmas recommendations for 2016 is probably South Africa's most iconic wine. The Meerlust estate has been in the Myburgh family for about 250 years now, and the Rubicon is their flagship. It's become known right around South Africa as a wine that celebrates the very best of Stellenbosch winemaking. It used to be one of the most expensive wines in South Africa. It's been overtaken considerably by some of the new players. It's probably now in about the 350 Rand range, so not inexpensive, but not quite as costly as some of its rivals. But in terms of quality, it is still enormously hard to beat. And this is the bottle if you're hoping to ask your prospective father-in-law for permission to marry his daughter, or if it's Christmas for your boss and you're desperately hoping for that promotion in January. This is one to wow. It's a bottle that just speaks of tradition, it speaks of heritage, and it speaks of really good South African wine. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon based blend that nods in the direction of Bordeaux. It's about 70% Cabernet Sauvignon or thereabouts, and you feel that coming through, just softened a little with the remaining 30% or so. And it's a wine that is very nice now, and it reminds me a lot of that Ernie Els signature we had in episode 1, where drinking very nicely now, but you know it's something you just want to put away and keep for a little while longer. That said, I have opened it, and it would be remiss of me not to drink it. So there you go, 4 Christmas gifts across a range of different styles, whether it's the bubbles, the unique Chardonnay, the big blend from Big Schalk, or the classic Meerlust Rubicon. You've got a nice selection there, and of course you can order any of the wine we've had on previous episodes, all of that available at danreallylikeswine.com. Get shopping, and next week we'll look at some wine to pair with that Christmas lunch. Enjoy.